everyone, Steve here from theturtlefollower.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the markets for the upcoming week. Now today is Saturday, May 2nd, and we really finished a volatile week in the markets. We really had a move to what looked like new highs on Monday in the S&P 500 futures, and then really that was the catalyst to get us moving in the opposite direction. It ended up closing lower, a bit of a bearish engulfing pattern on that day, and then really just followed through to the downside with basically going from the high of 12,120 to the low of about 2070. So just about a 50-point move in the S&P futures. And then sure enough, Friday came in, and this is where we kind of have to determine if this is actually a real not that it's not a real move, but is it new buyers stepping in, or is it the fact of these short covering sellers now having to cover their positions and buy back? You could see volume was much lower than it had been over the rest of the week on Friday. So we'll see how this plays out. For right now, you could see this uptrend line is still intact, and the 50-day moving average has now held the last two times we've tested it to the downside. You could see this big candle here on the 17th, and then again big candle here on the 30th, which was Thursday. So let's see now if the market can kind of get a little movement going. The biggest thing you're going to see is a close above 2102. If we can get a close above 2102, and we'll zoom in there for a minute, you could see that we basically topped out there twice. All right, on Thursday the 30th, the high was 2102, and on Friday, May 1st, the high was 2102.5. Now, we did close pretty much at the highs. We were off by 1/4 of a point. So if we can get some follow through now in the futures over this 2102, then that basically says to us that this is a swing low, and now swing traders are going to look to start getting involved, and we may be able to finally push over this 2100 level. All right, 2110. You can see that's been some significant resistance as we've gone in the past. Now, taking a look at the weekly chart, we know that we are in a multi-year uptrend, and we have just been really consolidating since the middle to end of February. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 weekly bars that have closed, pretty much in this range between 2120 and 2030. All right, so at this point, we're kind of getting extended in this range. We can continue to go longer, but the thing I like to see here is that we've closed every week. The lows have significantly increased, and now Friday's action has created kind of a hammer on the weekly chart. So I'm looking for this to follow through to the upside this coming week. I'm looking for us to break through this 2110, but the first start of that is a move and a close over 2102. All right, so that's where we're at on the S&P futures. Let's look at the Nasdaq futures, which were the stronger of the bunch. And you could see we did break out on the Nasdaq futures, came back, tested this 50-day moving average, and again, we basically are now using that 50-day moving average as some support. Okay, you can see came right back into it. 4 days of sell-off, and then finally Friday moved higher. So again, looking at the weekly chart, we've been moving higher in these series of boxes, and we finally have this breakout. We closed back above this breakout level, this 4460 area. All right, which is good to see. So if you're looking at strictly at the weekly chart, I would say the breakout is still intact. Ultimately, again, we want to see a break and a move back over 4480 to really say that this is a significant low. Because at this point, this could just be a short covering rally, anything, but this has not put in a swing low yet. All right, because we are basically inside of Thursday's move. All right, so if we can get a move over this 44.71, swing low now is 43.84, and then you could even see that there's maybe a bit of an accelerated trend line starting to develop off of these lows and moving higher. All right, so hopefully that for the bulls, and for the way I trade in the model portfolio on my personal accounts, we're looking for a nice continued move to the upside. So that's where the Nasdaq sits. The Russell was the weakest one. All right, so we'll go from the strongest to the weakest. Russell really broke down on throughout the week. Okay, we had this little bit of a move that, fake out to the upside on the 15th. We tried to break out again on the 22nd, 23rd, and then really since the middle of last week, it's just been a sell-off with 2 big down days in the Russell. Actually, you could call it 3: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. So the Russell gave back a lot of points, almost 50 points on a $1,200 index. So it's definitely a significant percentage, but it did pick some up, and now we're kind of testing what this longer term trend line here. And again, we now need to see a little bit of commitment to the upside. Not nearly as strong of a bounce as the other 3 indices had, but needless to say, it is a bounce, and let's see if we can now establish a swing low right here at 1210. If not, I don't see any reason that you don't test 1200 just because it's a round number, but you can see volume did increase, or not increase, but it was above average where the other 3 are not. So the Russell is definitely the weakest, but it looks like it maybe found some support. The concern I would have here is we've been above the 50-day moving average for so long now that now this 50-day moving average is going to start to round over, and this may act as resistance for a continued breakdown to the lows. And finally, the Dow, again, you could see the volume not nearly near where it had been trading, but a nice significant bounce off this trend line back above the 50-day moving average. Really, the level here you want to clear is 18,100. Or 18,100 is the level, but you can see that now we have put in some significant lows here down to 17,700 area, just about 17,686 is what it's showing on my screen. 17,661. So these 2 big wicks to the downside with a follow through to the upside almost immediately is a good sign that there's a significant support level down here at this 17,680 area. But again, looking at it, we've really just gone sideways, and this is what I've been talking with the premium members about. This is an extremely difficult environment because there's no follow through. All right, a lot of the positions that are breaking out or breaking down, there's no follow through. And they're false breakdowns, false breakouts, and it's very difficult to trade that way. Trade breakouts that way. So this kind of environment is definitely lent more towards swing traders, 2-3 day moves. Not really a position trader, but that's the type of trader I am. That's how I'm most comfortable. So there hasn't been a lot of different setups out there because honestly I haven't been taking any. Whatever I have been taking, we've in the model portfolio has, it's moved well, but it hasn't been doing great. So for right now, I'm just kind of in a wait and see mode. I do think these markets break out. Everything kind of lines up. All the markets look good. They're all in uptrends. We've been consolidating for a long time now. The Russell's a little bit of a concern, but the other 3 indices, as I said, if we can move over Friday's highs, close above those, we could put in some significant swing lows, and then maybe make a run towards the highs. So that's what I'm looking for this week. Basically last week I kind of called the same thing. We had the weakness early in the week that I had discussed, and really never got the bounce until Friday. So I'm looking for Friday to kind of start a little bit of a rally moving forward. And again, the first sign of that is some increased volume coming in, meaning new buyers come in, step in, and start buying these futures. And the second thing is we want to definitely see a move over Friday's high and a close above there. That's important, all right? Because if we don't close up, if we move over Friday's high and then we start to sell off, that's an issue, all right? Because that means that there's not enough buyers to go ahead and keep us there. There's a lot more sellers that are looking to trap the buyers. So as of right now, those are the 2 things I'm looking for, and I'm looking for them to happen very early in the week. Monday preferably, but Monday, Tuesday, we need to basically close over those highs of Friday. And if we don't, then I think we're in for some more selling. If we do, then we can look to make a run towards the highs. Excuse me. Oh, allergy season here. So, excuse me, first of all. But again, that's it for this video. Any questions, let me know. But I'm looking for a move higher in the indices.